Well, all right, we made it out of Indianapolis, without any problems. We didn't hit anything. We didn't knock anything over. We didn't damage anything. We didn't tear down any low-hanging wires. We didn't kill anyone. So that was successful. Yeah. So I pulled into that. I guess it's a pilot or a flying J, whatever. It's the same thing. And I used my ability to tap into resource management and ingenuity, and I figured out a way how to get out of Indiana. All that time it was right under my nose. Right under my nose. The 465 is kind of like a Winnipeg perimeter highway where you can drive around the city of Indianapolis. So we got out of there. We're now leaving the 465 and heading on to I-69. My favorite number. 69, dude. So yeah. It was a hell of a thing. You know, you can get yourself caught up into some pretty hairy places, and the GPS can get you into some trouble. And it has done that to me all too many times. That'd be the Garmin, but I don't know who can update Garmin on the construction. Garmin is gonna have to update themselves, and just do it right, do it properly, you know. I think Google Maps does a better job, but we can't use Google Maps because Google Maps will just send me any old place. It's not a trucker's app. It should be. It should provide truck routes if it could, but then it would have to update itself under those circumstances as well. So, in almost every other part of the country, I've noticed that traffic really doesn't pay any attention to speed limits, the posted speed limits. But in Indianapolis, if a trucker's doing the posted speed limit, then you better be doing the posted speed limit. That'll be what they call an indication that they enforce the traffic laws around here. Not everybody does. Every once in a while, you'll find a rogue truck that doesn't want to obey the traffic laws, and it'll just carry on. But the last thing I want for myself is to get a speeding ticket on my record. I think I already got one, but I think that'd be a mistake. A mistake on behalf of the Manitoba Public Insurance Corporation, through which we get our driver's license in the province of Manitoba in Canada. The speed didn't change, it's just traffic is changing. Oh, the speed is changing right there. Traffic's just adjusting ahead of time, which isn't allowed in Manitoba, especially northern Manitoba. I've told you that story before. I got a ticket for speeding up too soon by the arsehole MPs up there. I got no respect for cops. None. Any of them. Even if they're my friends and they choose to be cops, I got no respect for the law. I don't even have respect for the justice system, because the justice system it's not meant for everyone. It's only meant for some. Oh, we could have a big argument about that, but I'd rather not. I gotta stay on I-69.
Be in any of the three left lanes.
Well, we made it out of that mess. And you know, I find America, Americans, I find them so fascinating. And there's all kinds. Like, there's different classes of white men up here.
Continue on I-69.
There's different kinds. You know that guy, that lieutenant colonel that blew the whistle on Donald Trump in his first impeachment? That guy was Ukrainian and Russian. And I talked about that in Canada. You know, when I was driving right across Canada, that Ukrainians weren't really white in Canada. They had to become white in Canada. Well, when that fella, who is Ukrainian, comes from the Ukraine, he was here when he was 3 years old, brought here by his parents. It's not like he was planted here by the Ukrainian government to grow up and become an espionage agent, provocateur. No, he was born and raised, well, he wasn't born here, but he was raised here. He was raised American. He served in the United States of America Army. He rose to the level of lieutenant colonel, served for over 2 decades, and then he got rubbed out by his own army for blowing the whistle on Donald Trump. Well, apparently that guy isn't white enough. Because I thought in America, if you were white, you were all right. If you're white, you're all right. But I was listening to NPR radio, and they were talking about that fella. They were interviewing him on something. Turns out he ain't white enough. He ain't American enough. And his credibility got questioned after he blew the whistle on Donald Trump. I think he was doing his duty. But I'm a Canadian. I couldn't, as far as if a general did that to a prime minister, it would probably enhance their credibility. But as far as Donald Trump was concerned, and I might be treading on dangerous ground here. As far as Donald Trump was concerned and all of his supporters were concerned, that lieutenant colonel was not white enough. He was Ukrainian and not white. Ukrainian and not white. It's the same thing in Canada. Ukrainians in Canada were never white when they arrived. They were Ukrainians. They were Eastern Europeans. They called them Bolsheviks. They called them Russians. They called them socialists, communists. Just because they were from Eastern Ukraine, Eastern Europe. They were from the eastern side of things. Anyways. Yeah. So apparently you got that same problem here in America. You know, I met a few what you would call and what they would self-identify as white folks down here, and even down in the southern states there, and they're pretty friendly. I don't know what's happening on the inside. but they're downright cordial and kindly down here. Even down in the southern states, they're downright helpful. But everyone is. Everyone is. You don't have to be white. You don't have to be black. You don't have to be yellow. That'd be Asian folks. You don't have to be red. That'd be the that would be the Indians. Not Indians from India. Indians from North America. You don't have to be that god awful self invented color brown. Those would be Latinos, South Americans. Everybody here is pretty friendly and helpful. They seem to have the ability to know better than to be, what you call that, rude. For example, I could walk up to someone and say, "Pardon me, young man. I wonder if you can help me out here. I seem to be in a little bit of trouble here." They're actually willing to listen. It's not a hard sell. You do have to say your piece within 1 minute, otherwise they don't got the time nor any inclination to help you out. But they're downright friendly and helpful. Holy jeez, I gotta tell you, whatever prejudices, whatever myths I've been told about America, about the South, it's not true. Hang on here, I'm gonna make a little bit of noise here a sec. After what dispatch did to me, my schedule's all screwed up. So my eyes are kind of watery and blurry. Anyways, I've yet to find a rude American citizen. You know, we've been told in Canada that Americans are rude, that Canadians are polite. I think Canadians are rude. Americans are polite. That's my experience so far. I've been in and out of the United States many times over the years, and I'm so old. I'm so old right now. I don't even know how much longer I got to live. But anyways, you know, back in Canada, I used to be so hard on myself. I used to think, "Oh man, I must be the worst kind of person there is. I've done so many bad things. I have such lustful thoughts and unclean, sinful thoughts. I must be a bad person." And so I thought I was worthless, a worthless human being. And I thought I was ignorant, bordering on retarded, because that's all I've ever been told in public education in Canada. All my teachers, from kindergarten all the way up to at least grade 7, when I had enough. I just had enough. And I thought, well, why do I need to sit in this institution of hatred and put up with this abuse when I can just go out and get a job? And that's what I did. I started looking for work by the time I was 15, 16 years old. That's probably what a lot of Americans do. And probably a lot of Canadians do that. Canada and America Two different cultures, bro. Telling you right now, not the same at all. We share the same sort of interest in technology and modernization, but there is something different between Americans and Canadians. I think Canadians think too highly of themselves, for one thing. Probably Americans do the same thing. But what I'm trying to get at is in Canada, they would never hire some of the people that Americans hire in America, in the United States of America. In Canada, those folks would be homeless. Those folks would be out on the streets. Family would disown them. In the United States of America, they're hiring those people. And those people have jobs. And I've met them. And by Canadian perspectives, which Canadian perspectives is completely off of reality, but then so again it's probably Americans. But I've met some of these folks here. And they some of them come across as insane. Like they're not firing on all thrusters. They're a couple cans short of a six-pack, so to speak. But that's not to downgrade them or demean them or dehumanize them in any way. It just would seem that that's the environment that they were developing in, and that's the person that they became as a result. But that doesn't stop them from being able to do a job, and that's what Americans seem to have recognized in the folks that they're hiring to do jobs. If you can do the job, and you can do it well, and you can show up, and you're responsible and reliable, they'll hire you. You could be as off as you want. You could be downright insane. They'll hire you. Not in Canada. In Canada, employers want to be so clean, so presentable. Everybody's got to be professional. It's like the reputation is everything based on the presentation and professionalism and demeanor of their employees. If you don't, if you don't, if you can't fit in, you're never going anywhere in Canada. I guess Canada has the luxury of keeping people out of the workplace. It would seem that America will hire you without discrimination. Maybe they'll pay you less, I don't know, maybe they're going to discriminate in other ways. But I have met some pretty interesting characters, and they like to wear their hair in certain styles, and they like their tattoos, and they don't care if their tattoos are on their foreheads or on their, they got teardrops on their eyeballs. They don't care. All they want is a chance. And it seems like some employers in America are willing to give you the chance. Maybe they'll pay you less. I don't know. I don't know what they do here. But what I have noticed is you would never find those folks working in any capacity in Canada. No way. Even in the darkest, most out of the way garage, would you ever find a mechanic that cuts their hair in a certain way that is off-putting to the cultural norms of Canadians. There's something wrong with Canada, I'll tell you that much. There's something wrong with the US for sure too, but I guess we both got our problems. Americans are more real. They're more realistic. They're not living in a fantasy. You know, like, well, I guess some of them are. Living in an ivory tower. No. It would seem that some Americans are willing to eat a hot dog in as much as anyone else is. But in Canada, some people just won't do that. They're too above that. They're above. Their pay grade is above a hot dog. hmm Okay, so we got out of that mess in Indianapolis. I pulled into that Love's, or no, it was not Love's. It was a Pilot, and I went inside and took a quick look around, grabbed myself a cup of coffee, and I saw this cap, and I was thinking to myself, I want to get that cap. I don't look good in caps, but it's an American thing. We have them in Canada too, but I don't know. I just never. They just didn't. I just never thought they looked good on me. Like my head isn't shaped for it or something. Anyways, I saw this cap. It said Indianapolis, land of the Hoosiers, or something like that. Perfect color, nice design. Oh, I thought I want that hat. And I decided against it. Now, so I went and poured myself a cup of coffee. I was about to get in line and somebody cut in front of me. That gave me a chance to think about that hat one more time. And I said, you know what? I'm going with my gut. I'm getting this hat. So I grabbed it. I let the guy that cut in front of me. And my reward for today and all of the stuff I've been through, near accidents, oh, tough day. My reward for all of that was when I got to the counter with this cap and my coffee, the Pilot fella who was ringing all this in says, you want to put it on your Flying J card or rewards? I said, sure. I thought he was just talking about the coffee. I was pulling out my other card for the cap, because caps are about 15 American dollars here, 16 American dollars. That works out to about 21 Canadian, maybe 22. And they turns out that they have a policy of, if that cap doesn't sell within a certain time period, it goes on sale. And they accidentally took it out of the bin that they call I don't know, for sale, 80% off or whatever. And they accidentally put it back onto the regular shelf. At which point, that's where I picked it up, and he says to me, that cap's actually 50 cents. I said, what? Oh yeah, that cap's 50 cents. So I used my rewards, my reward points, to pay for my cup of coffee and my new Indianapolis Hoosiers cap that I bought for 50 cents in America. Hooah.